Hello there. I'm going to cover today the Project Snap, which is nothing but a tool to manage multiple projects easily. My name is Manish Bhadia. I'm a partner at Think AI. Visit our website, connect me on LinkedIn. Here you can see the book I wrote, Teamwork and Collaboration, made for managing project, working together effectively. And chapter 11 covers something called Snap, and I'll explain that in a bit. Here is the QR code and the link. So if you have the book, you can directly go to chapter 11, but let me cover in case you have not seen the book. So what are we going to cover in this session? First, why another system? Don't we have enough that we need another system? Can we avoid it? In case we want to have, what is Snap? An example of it, and what are the next steps? So my first question is your current workload looks something like this, too many things, or it's a Zen state more like this, very calm, happy scenario? If you answer that it's like this, then we need to talk or keep listening. If it is like this, then stop. How can we avoid another tool setup? Well, we already have Teams. Do we need another tools? So let's review what is Teams and what is other tools. So what I'm saying here is Teams is mostly conversational. You have temporary information, activities, chat, notification, tagging, and you will lose those messages. It's very hard to search for things in Teams. Emails get missed, and files are slow to access, which means if you keep the things in files, then really you will be searching for files, searching back and forth. OneNote is fast and can be a permanent placeholder. Sorry, it's hiding that area, but it says permanent placeholder. OneNote can be that. And it's possible to avoid another system if you are willing to do the one of the following things. I know there is a typo here. You can avoid if you are super proactive in following up. Your team member is proactive and doesn't miss to reply. You can talk to them in person. You can go to them, get the status all the time. You don't need to rely on the systems or the remote way of working. You can send a text message in case there is no email reply, and then you can call and get the status over the phone in case you need it, right? So I just turn off the camera for a bit. So that's where the solution is, where what we are saying is OneNote is fast and can be the permanent placeholder. Just hold on. Project Snap is a OneNote based structure. And to be more in detail, Project Snap is nothing but an acronym for project details, screenshots, notes, action items, and plans. Now, why do we need all that? Because really, you can bring with Project Snap, you can bring everything in one place. Example is, let me move it this way. Okay, so example is within 3 clicks, because you're gonna open the OneNote, go to the right project from the drop down and directly go to the Project Snap for a particular project. You can get the project detail, some quick overview. There can be the project plan. You do have project files in Teams, but there can be a link in OneNote for the right requirements document or a screenshot document or some sample files which client has sent. So project files shared within our team, project files shared with the clients. Notes are the most important one. Any screenshot, action items, and decisions we are making in the project. Now, these are the very important one, like what is our to do, what is the checklist, and then what are the decisions? Because sometimes like, hey, there is a decision to expedite the project. We need to finish in 3 weeks. So how can we do that? Okay, let's take an example of a project step. Actually, before the example, let me show you. So project snap is kept in OneNote. And this is one example where project snap is kept. So you can see there is a project called Be Focus Skyhawk Project Notebook. It has the snap here. And let me switch on the laser pointer. Okay, so here's the snap. Snap means we said, right? Project, screenshot, notes, action item, plan. You can have quick project details, and I'll go over that. You can have all the screenshot. Notes are nothing but your notes with individual meeting or weekly meetings. Action item is what are the next week's to do. Plan can be coming from Planner or Microsoft Project or any other tool. Doesn't matter. It's a screenshot or a baseline or a day in the project day. I mean, it's a screenshot for a particular day in the life cycle of the project. So that's a storage area. Now, project details. This is an example of project details. So what can you have in the project details, right? You can have project quick information here. You can also have quick hours here. What are the consume project, how much it has updated. Credentials you can keep. You can keep org chart from the client side. You can keep the org chart from the ThinkAI side. Let me show an example of that in the OneNote. So this is the project detail. You can see, and here is a requirement. In fact, this is one of the example of a SharePoint requirement. So we have the whole requirement pasted here. It can be draft requirement or final requirement. You have quick access, so we can put a date and just say, hey, this is the final requirement. Here is the org chart from the client side. You can know who are we dealing with. Here is the org chart from ThinkAI side. So that can be done. Going back to the next item. So project details is covered. Now let's go back to the next, which is the screenshots. Why do we need screenshots? Well, a screenshot will let you quickly know what is happening in this project. Okay, so this is intranet project, right? So Be Focus intranet. Oh, we are designing a intranet. We are designing a Power BI dashboard. We are designing SharePoint workflow, website, mobile app, whatever we are doing is right here in the screenshot. And we don't have to do much. I'm just talking things to be done weekly once by PM. They are in the meeting 30 minutes, take a screenshot and put it. That is what is the ask here, not a daily thing, but whenever you are doing some update, you also update the snap. Now the next is the SNAP. The notes is the most important one. Whenever we are having meeting with the client, all the team members must make an effort to add to the notes, because what happens in ThinkAI and ThinkAI clients, and clients are also sometimes forgetful, or sometimes they try to increase the scope. In either way, as long as we know what is in the SOW or what was discussed in the meeting notes, we can always go back and say, hey, we could not point this out, but because we discussed this, we need to revisit it. But if it was never written, then we can never talk to client on let's revisit. So that's the thing we want to do. So let me show you an example of the notes. Okay, so we did cover screenshots, so that's all here. And we covered this. So these are the screenshots. Here is the notes. So we store notes in the reverse chronological order. So you can see that there was an email sent to client for kickoff meeting. Then there was a reply. I mean, this is generic information, but critical emails, what we need here is like asking for approval and approval coming back from client can be stored. A major decision in the project needs to be stored. Weekly meetings, here is all the details. Action items are here. Then here is all the details for the next weekly meeting getting stored. Anytime you need, you just come here and all projects will have a snap. You know that where you want to find the information. So you go and find it. So going back to the slides here. Where's the slide? Okay, so going back to the slide, N is nothing but notes. Okay, so notes needs to be stored the moment we send the notes. So in fact, we're gonna have a process where if the notes are not seen here, that means it has not been sent. Of course, we should make sure it has been sent and then stored here. But the way to track is check if it has not been sent or not has been stored in OneNote at all. Then comes the A, which is action items. Now, again, you know, the OneNote is providing you one stop shop for all things. Doesn't mean we have to maintain everything here. We can maintain even OneNote in Excel, any other tracker. We can maintain in the planner also. But mention that where it is. Notes has to be here. Rest can be anywhere else. It doesn't not matter because we don't need notes till we don't need. The moment problem happens, we have to track things. And that's where we track is in the notes or OneNote or Snap. So action items are here. Now, as I said, action items are not that critical to be kept here, but the next one, the decision register. Now, this is very, very, very critical. Decisions to start project, stop project, go live, demo, any change request or asking for out of scope item needs to be put here, needs to be highlighted to management. Very important. And if you have done PMP, you understand the value of risk register. So risk register is showing up in the 4.4. That also needs to be handled. But as I'm saying, open item is great. Closed item is much, much better. You can show to client that these things have been done. These are our progress. So we have done so many things. So as open item gets closed within a week or two, you can keep moving to closed item. So open item can be clean. Closed item can be the last week recap. So decision register we covered. Very important. Let's make it practice. Moving on. Plan. So the plans, as I said, you don't need to have it in the, it need not be in the planner only. It can be on any tool. Microsoft Project is fine. Excel is fine. Word doc is fine. Any other Microsoft project, I mentioned that like Monday.com. I'm just saying at ThinkAI, it will be mostly planner, Microsoft Project, or if any other tool we bring. We just need a screenshot. On 9.4, this is how the planner look. Management will actually refer this a lot because anytime there is a delay in the timeline, there is a cost to ThinkAI. For project manager, it will not be okay to change the timeline. It's okay to run anything within timeline, but the moment you are getting delayed, client needs to be notified, management needs to be notified. We may have to talk to client on pausing the project, getting more money, moving the resources, getting more resources, whatever it is, its management needs to be involved here. And that's what is needed here is we take a screenshot of the plan wherever it's done, and we know that these are the timeline and do not let go more than that timeline. So points to remember, right? Most important thing, we will follow this practice of if it is not written, it doesn't exist. He said, she said is the exact thing we cannot rely on Absolutely not. It's a waste of time, waste of morale for our team members. We lose the trust of client when we go into he said, she said. It needs to be written, and the OneNote notes thing is such a powerful tool. Client gets impressed. So no notes is a lose-lose. It's a lose for ThinkAI and lose for client. Having notes in Snap or any format, but we are saying Snap, right? So having notes, weekly notes, having decision register, action plan, these three things and your project plan. In summaries, having Snap is a win-win-win. Why three wins, right? It's a win for client. It's a win for ThinkAI and our employees and our contractors, whoever we are connected to. But also we get a lot of time a referral. The client has been given to us by a referral. Somebody brought that client to us. They always keep watching that how ThinkAI is performing because they are the one who brought them in, right? So how ThinkAI is performing. When we don't perform or when client is unhappy, they tell and the word goes around in the market. But when we perform, that also goes around. That is the reason a tight ship when it's run and it's a win-win-win situation and we get more referral, client is also happy, everybody's happy. So we have to do that. Okay, next steps. Now that you got your Snap in order, how are you gonna do? So critical thing to remember when we have Snap is you don't want to think weekly meeting is actually for discussion. Weekly meeting is actually to make decisions only. Our weekly meeting should not be to discuss, hey, I have this issue and all. Set up another meeting with client and get that resolved. Weekly meeting is more for making decisions. And one of the most important thing in weekly meeting, what we have to do is status update you provide, but then do a recap of last week and get approval on your last week meeting notes. Approval on last week meeting notes is very critical because I want to make a joint partnership with client that we are busy, they are busy. We could make mistake, even they could make mistake, but as a team, it's their responsibility is also on the meeting time to review notes, highlight what we missed, highlight what we have incorrectly mentioned or what they wanted to mention, which is not captured. We do need to recap. So that is the biggest ask in every weekly meeting. Initially start with saying, okay, last week meeting notes was this. Let's review. Anyone has any input? When client says no, then you record a line saying that, okay, last week's meeting notes are approved. And now present that this week meeting updates, task completed, anything you want to review in the decision register, open items, issues, you can cover that in next 5 to 15 minutes. And then in 15 to 20 minutes, what will happen in the next week, review that and wrap up. But in the last minute, when I say reconfirm next actions, do make a habit of stopping the meeting in the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes and recap. You have to recap because we can make a practice that we just need to listen last 5 minutes and we know what needs to be sent in the meeting notes. So if meeting attendee don't remind you that you're missing these things in the recap, of course we are going to miss. We are not superhuman that we will remember everything. And I don't want our ThinkAI team to be spending time reviewing whole 30 minutes to write the meeting notes. No, we should just take 10 minutes maximum to write meeting notes. Meeting note, it's not even notes, it's a meeting lines, bullet points, lines. So that's what we want to do is we just want to make sure we always recap in the meeting and that last 5 minutes will go in the meeting notes. So that is why it's important to recap the meeting in the recap last week's meeting in the in the first 5 minutes and recap this week meeting in the last 5 minutes and send that in the meeting notes. So that will be the thing. If we do this, we'll be golden. 20 projects, 50 projects, does not matter. We can run every project same. Everything is in the right place, and we have full control. As I said, win-win-win situation. Again, here is the book link. You will get the book mostly in the PDF format, or you might have already bought. So use that. And that's all. Thanks. Reach out to me on any question. We also have for Thingy employees the internal quiz. So have a look at the quiz so that you know whether you got all the concepts in the snap or not. Thank you.